Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. The new musical Heathers, which is based on the iconic 1989 film, will open at New World Stages on March 31st, which also marks the 25th anniversary of the film's original release. And I'm here in the rehearsal room where I caught up with the cast and creative team. Thank you for opening your rehearsal room. What was today like for you?
Nervous, exciting, day 6 of rehearsal, and all of a sudden you're like, bring your cameras and your video, everything. But we love Heathers, and it's a celebration for us, for everybody, and to be able to share these songs and a little bit of the story, really exciting.
What has it been like working on this, and what attracted you to this?
I love this movie so much when I was growing up. And I loved all the John Hughes movies, and then I saw this, and it was like, whoa, like this is answering so many questions and touching me in a different way. So when we started 6 years ago to work with Kevin Murphy again, we had so much fun on Reefer Madness, and Larry O'Keefe has been a part of our family. But to really work with the original Heathers team, and then to start seeing this come alive. When we did 3 nights at Joe's Pub, and the audience was stomping their feet, the minute the Heathers stepped out, that's exciting. And to be able to do a workshop. So now to get here, opening at New World Stages, and to have a New York audience, this is for, a kid who dreams about theater from Texas, this is a dream come true for me.
Tell me what it was like working on this and how you guys got together to do this.
Well, I answered last time, so you guys.
Well, Andy Cohen, Todd Harris, Amy Powers were the original pioneers. They were the ones who untangled the very complex rights. They found Andy Fickman. Andy Fickman recommended Kevin Murphy. Together they found me and wrestled me and held me down and tickled me until I agreed to do it.
We took his lunch money.
I took my lunch money. It was terrible. The wedgie is I still feel it in my dreams. But we sort of circled this project warily and said, is it worth doing? Can you add something? Heathers is in so many ways a perfect creation of its time. And we then just delved in, and we swore we would be faithful to the spirit of what Dan Waters did. Maybe we'd violate a small detail here or there, but
it turns out the most subversive thing we could have done was adding themes of hope, optimism, and inclusion to an incredibly bleak and nihilistic movie. Yeah. And that was our big roll of the dice, and thank goodness Dan Waters came to see it and loved that choice. And he's been incredibly supportive.
It always looked like it would play beautifully as a musical, as a really fun musical. Was it easy to write?
Well, the risky part was, I think we've sort of mentioned, the risky part was just doing the movie, just doing the blackness and the nihilism and the posing of the movie. Because at the time, the Reagan era really needed that antidote. Nowadays, our culture is saturated with that cynicism, that level of snarkiness. And so the hard part was not painting with all one color. Obviously, when you do a musical, you need a strong heroine, and strong by musical theater terms means she's always doing something. She's always driven to do something. And in the movie, Winona Ryder is unbelievably compelling, and in a close-up in a movie theater, she can just react with horror, and you get the point. In a musical that doesn't fly, she has to be advancing her agenda. She has to be attacking, fighting, fixing, changing things, and you need a very active heroine. And it turns out that Veronica can be all those things, and I credit this guy for that.
What were the challenges for you so far? I mean, it's a big show.
Yeah, it's a big show. I think that, none of them are dancers. They're actors, singers who move well. And so a challenge, but not. I kind of enjoy that. It's just really, and there's so many different cliques and characters in the show. So doing choreography that really is right for who they are, and making, everybody comfortable with that and just kind of coming together. I think that it's not even a challenge, but I guess that would be the trickiest part, is that it's not like an ensemble of dancers. It's a eclectic group of crazy characters, really.
Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. Time for you to prove you're not a loser anymore. Let's step into my candy store. What's your business? Take the class. Sit with me. First one for you. Say goodbye to Shamu. That freaks. Got your friend. I can tell in the end. If she had your shot, she would leave you to rot. Of course, if you don't care, fine, go braid her hair. Maybe Sesame Street is on. Whoa! Or forget that creep and get in my Jeep. Let's go tear up someone's lawn. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Honey, what you waiting for? Welcome to my candy store. You just gotta prove you're not a pussy anymore. Let's step into my candy store.
It was, Alice and I are part of the New York cast. We joined.
we're new.
And so it was remarkable that in a week and a half, we were able to put this together.
Did a good job.
It's thrilling to bring in the new crew and get everyone together and tell the world about it really for the first time. It's really exciting.
Okay, so were you all fans of the movie before you got involved?
I actually had never seen it.
Yeah, we're of the generation. We had the Clueless was ours, and Mean
yeah.
Girls. So it was amazing to be able to.
But it's a great movie. I loved it when I saw it. It's so funny.
Yeah, my mom actually told me about it. I think that was more her generation. So when I heard about the audition, I watched it and instantly became a big fan. It was great.
Because that's what your creators are saying. The nice thing is, it's sort of like people who are brought up on this now can bring their kids to this and say, this is what I was brought up on.
And it's completely relatable. This version is still, though it's rooted in the 80s and that iconic time, it's still very current and very contemporary. And I feel like everyone will be able to connect to it, relate to as maybe a part in their life or a movie that they enjoyed that was of this same
Are you a
vein.
big fan of the film?
Absolutely. 1989 and the opening and all of that. And as Andy was saying before about it was a real turning point in films as far as that dark humor but a sensibility to it that was smart, sassy, and this is just a continuance 25 years later of that same philosophy.
Talk about the role that you play.
It's 3 different roles, and which is great because it's a great comedic turn for me. One of them is a little bit darker, but it's Bill Sweeney, who's Ram's dad, one of the young football players. Then Big Bud Dean, who is JD's, the James Dean character's, his father. And then also just this crazy football coach that's based on a teacher that I had in high school. So it's just fun stuff, a lot of fun stuff, and a wonderful sort of money number in the second act. So can't wait.
All right, so this is your debut in New York. So what are you looking forward to?
I've been doing theater. It's my bread and butter. I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. Coming to New York, doing a show, doing a musical specifically, has been the dream forever. So the fact that I'm here, I still can't quite believe it. I don't think I'm going to be able to believe it until we're at opening night. But I could not be more excited.
So what was your audition process like?
Interestingly enough, I'm on the Disney Channel show that Andy Fickman also directs. And one of his producing partners found a video of me singing on YouTube and was like, "Did you know that he could sing?" And Andy was like, "No." Sure enough, that circulated to a 4th of July party with Andy and our 2 writers. And I got an audition that way. And they were like, "Let's just have you come in and see what happens." And apparently I do psychopath well, so here I am.
Well, let's talk about this role. Tell me about it.
JD is a very interesting role, especially in the musical, because he enters as the outsider and sort of as Veronica's savior. So you start thinking that this guy, even though he's a little off, he's brooding, he's charming, and he might be the protagonist here. Well, sure enough, he starts cutting out some of the, cutting out the members of the high school and the popular elite, and we find out that he's actually a sociopathic murderer, and so that progression is really cool to go from absolute protagonist to absolute antagonist in a matter of 2 acts.
So how excited are you to be working on this?
This isn't real. I'm convinced that this is an elaborate joke that like someone is playing on me.
Heather.
Yeah, exactly. Like some mean Broadway girl is like, this is all a joke for you.
It's all a dream. It's not really happening.
It's not happening at all.
So talk about this role that you get to play.
Come on, it's the greatest part ever. I'm convinced that it's the greatest female part that's been written for someone my age ever. Like vocally, dramatically, comedically, like you get to wear a dress. Like it's great. It's amazing. I'm beside myself.
What do you love about her so far?
I love that she's a real person and that she's so completely flawed. Like she is a high school girl. She just wants to survive and every moment of her life is so fraught and so tortured and she's willing to give every piece of herself away until there's nothing left but her soul, and she's like, wait, that's one thing I can't give you. But yeah, that's what I love about her. She's a true human being.
Were you a big fan of the film?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I only saw it like 2 years ago, and because I had like a very sheltered childhood and I never saw any like violent movies, so I only saw it like 2 years ago, and my roommate, right after we watched it, he was like, they're making this into a musical, right? And I was like, shut up. But yeah, anyone who watches it, you instantly have like 2 questions, which is, how have I never seen this before? And how did this ever get made? Because it's so out there and amazing.
They were not dirty. No. They just had flair. Oh. They were 2 bright red ribbons in the walls of hair. Oh. I used to see a homo and go reaching for my gun. But now learn to love. And furthermore, these boys were brave as hell. These boys, they knew damn well. Those folks would judge them. They were desperate to be free. They took a devil's chance, stripped to their underpants. Paul, I can't believe that you still refuse to get a clue. After all that we've been through, I'm talking you and me. In the summer of '83. That was one hell of a fishing trip. Whoa. They were not dirty, no, and not perverse. No, they were just 2 stray rhinestones of the Lord's big purse. Our job is now continuing the work that they begun. 'Cause now we love. We love your day. other now, like cowboys would have.